This is a Peugeot Expert 2007. I'm just going to change the change the fuel rail sensor, which obviously I've had to take out the airbox there, the airbox at the back, disconnect the fuel filter from its housing, which was clamped here, the fuel housing. Let's take off the EGR valve, which goes onto this pipe here and connects onto the back of the engine here. It's a bit better. EGR valve goes on there, onto the back there, and down here, right at the bottom, that big silver bolt there, that's your fuel rail sensor. So I've just got an adjustable spanner, try and clean that out. As you can see, the EGR valve goes on the back of the engine there and comes out there. If you need to find your fuel rail, so you just follow your injectors, follow your pipes round. As you can see, they'll come along the top and then go down, and they obviously do all flow. If you look at the back of the engine, into the fuel rail, and that's the fuel rail sensor. I'm getting a code PO0087, I think it was. Obviously a lot of the forums say fuel filter, so I'm changing the fuel filter, but I thought as I've got to take the fuel filter out, I'm going to change the sensor itself, because the sensor is only about £25. I don't want to change the fuel sensor, fuel filter, and then still have the code come up, so I thought I'd change that as well, and then at least them two eliminated, and if it still happens then it's another problem obviously somewhere else. Obviously just got the fuel filter from Euro Parts, which is this. I've got a video further back in my videos of how to change the fuel filter, and yeah, obviously just going to change the fuel sensor. I've cleared the code and it doesn't come back, it just comes on randomly once in a blue moon, and then if I clear it, it doesn't come back for ages. So it can't be a consistent fault. So whether it is the sensor, that's what I'm thinking, that has an intermittent fault on it. The fuel filter only changed 18 months ago, and I haven't done many miles. So but again, as it was only £25, I've decided I was going to change it. Then if it still happens, it's a problem I know that it exists somewhere else in the car, or the van, sorry. Right, let's get this removed. Right, so this is the old one and the new one next to each other. It's the part number 880. So again, I don't know how you'd know whether this was faulty or not. Could just have dirt in there, you never know. Or faulty in here. Plugs are all clean. Right, so let's get the new one fitted. So I've just put the full EGR valve back in. There's a little, it's hard to see it, but there's a little gasket here. It's really hard to try and put in without it falling down, because you've got to try and line up that hole there and get the screws in. So I don't know, there's a little bit that sticks out, so I've just put some tape on it here, a bit of gasket to hold it in place, because obviously the time you pull the screws out, as you can see, there's a bit of gasket sticking out there, just to hold it in place while I do the bolts in. Obviously there is a clip on here it needs to just do up, because this pipe slides into this pipe a bit like an exhaust. They join it, instead of it being a nut and bolt, it's just a clip that clips together, so you need to pinch it together now to get that to clamp back together. Then obviously put this back on here, and then obviously we're going to change the fuel filter next, and obviously put all the brackets back. I should have filmed it taking it off really, but I can film it putting it back on. So both the fuel filters off now. Obviously you have to remove this screw in the bottom of that one, and obviously this is the heating part that heats the fuel before it goes into the engine. if it's really cold. So you need to remove this as well. It's only just clipped on. Got a clip here. Just need to pop it off. So this is the clip you pull down. This just slides into there. You pull it out. And obviously on the new one you just put it into there. Take that red thing out. And then hasn't got a clamp on this one. I'll take the clamp off the old one. That's it. I want to unscrew this sensor to put into this hole. So new fuel filters in, all the plugs are back on. Obviously once you've put the new fuel filter in, this is the priming button. You have to keep pumping this like you would on your lawnmower before you start to try and get the fuel into here. As you can probably hear, there's quite a bit of fuel in there now. You have to do that quite a few times. You can hear it gurgling in the tank and it's quite heavy. Obviously you just need to put the brackets back on here to put this back on. Then put the air boxes back in and then start it up hopefully. Right, let's keep going. So there's 3 brackets. This bracket that obviously holds part of the fuel filter. There's 3 bolts, one there, and one down there. I think they were 8mm, 10mm. No, 8mm. I was right first time. 8mm bolts, heads. So you just put them back on. So the fuel filter clips back in. It's a little clip. There's a little clip here you have to pull to get it out, and it can just slide up. So I'll just put the airbox back in. This obviously I have to take, there's 2 screws holding the top part of the airbox on. You have to undo both of these to get the top off, and then you can get the bottom bit out. There's not enough room to pull the whole airbox out on its own. I just remembered I need to put this other bracket on here. Might have to take the fuel filter back out to do that. Just don't want to lose that nut. Also, at least it fell on the floor. Yeah, this holds the other air pipe on. So I just need to quickly put this on and I'll show you.